Gradually, Mia's eyes adapted to the darkness, and she began to see faint shapes. What she was touching was the trunk of a gigantic tree standing in the middle of a meadow.
What's going on? Where am I?
Bewildered, Mia leaned back against a tree and quietly looked around, waiting to see what would happen next. Eventually, dawn broke, and the sky slowly brightened. Rocky mountains and serene pine forests surrounded the meadow like a cozy bird's nest, as if carved by a masterful giant sculptor. Streams of water cascaded down the sheer cliffs of the Rocky Mountains, forming a small, clear lake. The shadow of the Rocky Mountains reflected on the transparent surface like diamonds. The lake soon became a stream that trickled across the meadow. Throughout the vast field, all kinds of grasses and flowers emitted sweet, fresh, and sensual scents. In one corner of the meadow, small wooden houses, nestled like bird eggs, faced the meadow with a fine forest at their backs. Mia was mesmerized by the whole scene as she basked in the warm sunlight, listened to the babbling brook, and inhaled the fragrant smells. Her previously anxious mind felt much more at ease. Soon, however, she heard the sound of numerous birds chirping from somewhere. When she turned around, she saw a group of children chattering and walking somewhere. Startled, Mia involuntarily screamed and quickly covered the mouth with her hands. But it was too late. The children had already turned their heads. They gathered around the unfamiliar girl in pink pajamas with curious eyes. Terrified, Mia fumbled around the tree trunk, looking for the door she had come through, but it had vanished without a trace. At that moment, a boy who looked about 11 stepped forward. He had gentle, large dark eyes and a high nose. Despite his age, he had an air of elegance. Noticing Mia's scared look, as if she were about to cry, the boy did not come any closer. Instead, he slightly bent his waist and, blinking his large eyes slowly, spoke gently. "Who are you? How did you get here?"
I'm not sure. I was home alone. I heard a sound from a door. When I opened it, I ended up here.
The children looked at each other and murmured. Some laughed and jeered. Embarrassed and bewildered, Mia hung her head low. The boy, flaring his nostrils slightly as if annoyed, signaled the other children to be quiet. "There is no need to be afraid. No one will harm you." The boy spoke calmly yet kindly. Mia took a deep breath and looked up at him. His beautiful tawny hair fluttered refreshingly in the breeze. She felt a bit more at ease. "My name is Carlo. I love playing in the fields over there the most." Carlo introduced each of the children around him to Mia, telling her their names and what they liked. The children whose names were called smiled and waved. They were all unique and special. Mia felt very grateful to Carlo. Then Carlo spoke again. "Now, can you tell us about yourself?"
Hi, I'm Mia. I love reading storybooks the most.
At that moment, one of the children raised his hand. "What is that?" It was a boy named Taho, who looked about 10. He had long, sharp eyes and wore his long, rich red hair loosely tied at the nape of his neck. Tao looked like quite a prankster.
Storybooks? What's a book?
Mia asked back in surprise. Taho nodded with gleaming eyes.
You've never seen a storybook before?
That's right. What on earth is it?
It's a collection of square pieces of paper bound together with fun stories written and pictures drawn on them.
Wow. The children exclaimed in unison. Mia wondered what was going on. Then Galok asked again. By the way, how did you get here?
Not long ago, my dad got a new job, so we moved. It was really hard at first to adjust to the new school, but thanks to my mom's help, it's much better now. But I don't really know how I suddenly ended up here.
Mia couldn't bring herself to say that her mom had a terrible illness, that her condition worsened to the point where she had trouble breathing last night, and that she was taken to the hospital. She didn't want to cry in front of these children she had just met.